Now, a Bedfordshire-based logistics firm have been talking about its role in the vaccine rollout. In normal times, Movianto stores and distributes the long-standing vaccines, such as for flu, MMR, polio and diphtheria. But during the pandemic, the company distributed more than 140 million doses of the Covid-19 vaccines. We will talk to the president of the company in a minute, but first, let's hear from Kath Charles, who works in the HR department. This is what the company means to her.
But the day I got my second jab and thought, yes, why am I getting emotional? It was thinking that my family is protected because of what we've done in Movianto. And every single person has played a part in it, whether they've not been delivering the vaccine, whether you've been delivering anything else. This company has relied on people, and I've been a part of helping those vaccines get to the patients, and that for me is job satisfaction. There's not, what else could I want? Because people have died, patients have died, family members have died, friends, loved ones. I've had a few friends who've been affected. I've lost people through COVID, and being part of the response is, when we clapped on a Thursday night for the NHS, I'm clapping for Movianto as well. I'm clapping for all of our teammates. It's been hard and it's been busy. It's been challenging and I'm pretty tired, but wouldn't have changed anything for the world.
Well, listening to that is the UK president of Movianto, Mr. Paul Wilkinson. Good morning to you, sir. I guess that sums up pretty well the work your company has done through the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when we sort of were able to share what we've done over the last 18 months, it was a release for many people that have spent a lot of time and effort in distributing the vaccines. And I think Kath really sums up how everybody within Movianto felt at that particular time.
How did you feel when you got the call from the government to help in the vaccine rollout?
I think fear of failure was probably the thing at the forefront of my mind. We were asked to devise and provide a solution for the distribution of a vaccine that still hadn't been developed, still hadn't been approved. So it was a mammoth task to try and put a supply chain in place that would cover every eventuality. So, yeah, for me, it was fear of failure.
I mean, how much of a challenge was it then to go from your normal business model to upscaling to storing and getting the COVID vaccines out there?
Yeah, it was huge. We had to cover all temperature eventualities, so minus 75, which was eventually was the Pfizer vaccine. So we had to install a totally new infrastructure to be able to store those products across the minus 75 and minus 20. And also had to recruit some 400 additional teammates to enable us to distribute the vaccines throughout UK and Northern Ireland. And I think one thing to bear in mind is every vaccine has a huge amount of consumables with it, so the syringes and needles and diluents, and so it was a huge ask.
And as you mentioned there, you had to get in, hire extra staff and drivers. I mean, how did you go about that?
Well, it was difficult in the initial phase because we had to remain somewhat under the radar. We didn't want to publicly announce that we were distributing all of the COVID vaccines for the UK. So we had to just go through various agencies. A lot of our teammates managed to bring family members and friends in to assist, obviously, especially through the first phases of the lockdown. There was people that had been made redundant or furloughed, and we were able to tap into that resource.
As I mentioned earlier, the company has managed to get over 140 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine out there. I mean, how do you reflect on this achievement?
I think with a lot of pride, really, especially when I go around the business and speak to my fellow colleagues and see what they have all managed to do, because it's not one person delivered this program. It was reliant upon everybody within Movianto and other sectors outside of that. I think the focus quite rightly for the last 18 months has been on the frontline NHS. But there's been a huge army behind enabling that vaccine to be placed in the hands of the frontline NHS. And there's organisations, the UK Health Security Agency and NHS Supply Chain, and obviously ourselves, that have played a very collaborative approach to putting those vaccines where they needed to be.
And I believe you could be in line for an award as well.
Yes, the company have been nominated for its efforts and for delivering the COVID-19 vaccine throughout the UK. So we'll see what happens when they decide the winner on, I think it's the 17th of March.
Well, Paul, it's a remarkable achievement. It really is, and absolutely congratulations to you and to the amazing team at the company. Great work.
Lovely, thank you indeed, Andy, and everybody out there. Stay safe. It's not gone yet.
Paul, I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning. UK President of Movianto there, Paul Wilkinson, a company that managed to, during the pandemic, the company distributed more than 140 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. And that don't just happen overnight, people. That takes some remarkable people that you don't hear about working very, very, very hard.